Hey guys, Footy Manager TV here, and welcome to episode 2 of my Barcelona career mode. And actually, this episode was originally going to be a bit longer, but part of my recording was a bit stuffed up. Like it was just, the record. You know how sometimes on a video it stuffs up, and sometimes YouTube videos are like that. We were just, I don't even know what to describe it as because I'm not sure here. I wasn't sure what it is, but basically the recording, it was stuffed up pretty much. You could see it, but then in parts it looks shaky or something. I'm just moving on. That's why you're seeing a lot of transfer action right here straight away. There was a bit of build up to it, but obviously I couldn't show it, I should say, unless you want to see the screen shaking all the time, which I'm sure you don't. And honestly, a lot of this transfer stuff, it's really similar. Apart from the scouting thing you see here, it's really similar to FIFA 13. Like all the messages you get and all that kind of thing, it's really similar, at least that I've noticed. The messages are almost exactly the same, like with the same words and that kind of thing, or at least along the same lines. But here, obviously, like I said, I kind of said on Twitter like a weeks, like a couple days ago. It really depends because I was just waiting for FIFA 14, but now it's here, so you got to be excited about that. And yeah, like I said, Coke was really the guy I wanted to get to replace my midfield, like when they get older, like Iniesta. Well, he's 29. That's still old for me, like in FIFA, because they decline, as you know. But apparently, it's like how they decline for older players is shortened down, which is good. But mostly, especially for Xavi as well, he's the ideal. Like Coke for Xavi, he's like the main replacement for him. At least that was the plan anyway. And then, of course, the centre back Inigo Martinez to replace Puyol. And then, that's a very good replacement. And you'll see his attributes, like his full attributes and overall when we get him to our team. And yeah, as I said, I just want to get these two players and do the scouting of the free agents. And then I actually want to try something really unique. Please leave your thoughts on this. I know it might be hard, but I might make a couple signings here and there. I just want like a rule for this career to make it more realistic and interesting to watch, because obviously Barcelona have a lot of money, and that the big thing. This is what I'm going to suggest. The thing I want to suggest is I can only buy, like with actually my transfer money, when I go out to buy a player from the transfer market, I can only buy Spanish players. And any other countries I can only get by scouting them, like the youth players coming through. So you got to really rely a lot on the youth players. So that's pretty much the rules. Because in real life, the actual rules are they can only have 3 non-EU players. So I could adapt that, but obviously they have Neymar already. But I'm going to adapt the philosophy of only buying Spanish players. But I don't want to say that like as a set rule, because then maybe someone comes up later in the track and I want to buy him. But I want to I don't want to splash big like on. If I was going to spend big on a player, they have to be Spanish. That's the kind of thing behind it. And obviously it's not going to be for every single like signing, just the majority of the signings to be Spanish. And yeah, I got to bring through a lot of players through my scouts. Not these scouts, the youth players you get through, like the young regenerated players or whatever you want to call them. So leave your thoughts on that. Would you like me to do that just so I can build a similar Barcelona team to how it is now? Because obviously soon enough Valdez is going to be gone from this team. He's over 30, and players I've said before like Puyol, Iniesta's 29, so he's getting to that age as well. Xavi. So please leave your comments if you would like that. But yeah, like a majority, so I can just keep the team how it is now. Like in real life, how the Spanish team has a lot of Barcelona players. That's the kind of thing I'm getting at. And you see with the signings here, hopefully we can make them anyway, with Inigo Martinez and Coke. That's really showing you the philosophy I want to go with. So if you want me to continue to try and sign these Spanish players, just leave your comments on it. But when I do the scouting players for young players, I can still send them out wherever I want, like they did in real life. Because obviously Messi wasn't born in Spain; he was born in Argentina. And like those Cameroonian players, I get like Dongu Safak and a couple others that I bring through through the Barcelona B, like I said in the first episode. So yeah, I can do that, but not make transfers for someone outside of who's not Spanish. To me, I think that's a realistic thing to do, but still, I can't make the signing like Neymar. But obviously, there's not another Neymar out there, like a Brazilian that's really dominant. And honestly, I don't like making those signings. Like, Bernard is probably the next best Brazilian. Like, I wouldn't feel, I don't know, for me, it doesn't feel realistic signing Bernard or just someone like that. Yeah, I don't, basically, yeah, I want a challenge because obviously people are going to say it's going to be, being Barcelona, it's going to be easy. And here we're having some offers for Victor Valdez. So even though the regenerated players you get from the scouts aren't real, like when you go scouting, not the scouting for the players, the new feature, the old scouting network. The scouting network, not the global transfer network. Obviously they don't have real names and it can be a bit boring because they don't have like their face or anything. But I'm just putting some ideas out there. I'm not confirming anything. I'm just asking you if you like me signing these players like Inigo Martinez and Coke for Barcelona as realistic signings. But I've got to think for the long term. Like, do you want this series for 1 season, 2 seasons, or long term 5 seasons? Or like, do you want me to go back down to a lower league? Because honestly, I have to be honest, I'm not really sure about the transfers. Like, the messages are really confusing me right now. I don't like the notification always being there. I'm not sure about anyone else. I like to get rid of the 1 notification or 2. And sometimes don't know, it doesn't go away for whatever reason, but it's just something you have to deal with. But that's one thing about it. It's not really wowing me. As here, we're trying to finalize the deal for Inigo Martinez after his team, Real Sociedad, actually accepted the offer. So now he just has to accept the player demands we're offering him in his contract. And he'll be a fantastic player to come. Like I'll show you later, he's got very, very good attributes. So he could be a very good player for us. And really going with the method and philosophy we're going with the Spanish players. I've said that so many times already. But if you do like it, please let me know. Because I need to know, or I'll have to look for other signings. But to me, it's realistic, and Spanish players are the best, so it kind of fits with it. And to keep the realism, that's the main thing, the realism of how it would be in real life. Like 5 years down the track, you're not going to see Barcelona having like 6 or 7 Brazilian players or English players or from another nationality. Not like Newcastle United, how half their team is French when they're an English team. That makes no sense to me. So I just want to get the feedback on what I'm trying to achieve here. So, and if you definitely like that, and it'll bring a challenge. So if I say it officially now, the challenge would be to only sign Spanish players, but I can scout through the scouting network, not the global transfer network, the old system, to get your youth players in. I can really scout any country I want. But of course, I got the good scout from Spain. So the majority will be from Spain. Unless I get another good scout from another country, I'll try and scout in other places. But when you scout in their home country, they're always, not always, but apparently they're better. And what I noticed, at least from FIFA 13, they are better. So that's really the suggestion, to make it more of a challenge. But like I'm probably limiting myself to not signing the best players. But if you think about it, it actually would be unrealistic, because I do have a lot of money, so that would make me, I could go out and sign Ronaldo if I want, but that's obviously not realistic. And I'm sure, like, leave in your comments, would you want careers to be realistic and like just to keep your interest in it? That's what I think would make you, because if I bring through some youth players that I scouted, you want to see them develop into the team, and hopefully that's the main thing. I want to discover like the next Iniesta or Xavi. That's why they're mostly going to be from Spain. As you see, I finally deleted all the emails there. So yeah, I just wanted to put that suggestion out there on this while this transfer stuff is going on, because I'm not sure about anyone else, but for me, it's not really that exciting me with having some negotiating back. But it's so similar to FIFA 13. It may look different, the whole thing, but to me, I guess you can only see it if you haven't played it yet. But to me, it still feels really similar. Honestly, to me, they've only hidden the overalls. Honestly, it's the same thing, but it looks a little bit different. Honestly, it isn't that much changed. I know there was another YouTuber who made a video about it, and he said like then it really hasn't not much changed. It just tweaked it, but it's really the same old game. And honestly, I'd have to agree with him. Because it's really similar. It's just like a fresh game. But honestly, last year's FIFA Career Mode, I played it a lot. It wasn't bad. It's just they can't change too much things about it, because if they change it too much, there's a chance it could be bad. So I'm definitely not complaining. I'm just stating the facts of what it is. But eventually it gets repetitive when you make videos, because you're in the same situation every single time. but it will make a difference when you be a lower team, because you really have to focus into more scouting lot. And here, I'm just in the situation where I actually want to play the game. I want to get rid of all this transfer stuff. I just want to sign the guys I want, being Inigo Martinez and Coke, and then I just want to get into the games, because I knew who I wanted to get from the start, even before I started the game. I planned it for a couple of weeks. I wanted to get a new Spanish centre back and a new Spanish centre mid to replace Xavi. Maybe it's just because I've planned it too much. It seems boring. Yeah, I'm not sure your thoughts on that, but maybe that may be a little thing to do with it, because I'm not so into the transfers, not really scouting for different players, because I know who I wanted. But yeah, that's just how I wanted to go with it, to keep the realism up with the Spanish players and all that kind of thing. So again, there's because I've already recorded this stuff, so there isn't much things that's happened. I've got like a couple of scouted players coming in, and here I just went to search for some young prospects, and obviously scouted Spain. But then, because this is one thing that will take away my rule, so this might be one thing that will stop me from just signing Spanish players. There's only a limited amount of promising players. That's what I searched in my scout, the instructions. I searched for promising players, but only the players here that you can see is the only players they found. Then I started scouting to some other countries like Mexico and that kind of thing. So maybe I just got to limit it. Maybe I'm not allowed to make big signings. Like, I'm still allowed these younger signings that are under 21 or something. Leave your thoughts on that. Like, I can still sign these kind of players, because yeah, I did search for some Mexicans and I didn't find one. But if I did, I'm just saying, Pablo Sarabia, I had him on my Arsenal Football Manager career mode, or whatever you want to call it. Let's Play career. It's all the same thing. But yeah, these are the players I found. Obviously, they're from Spain. I might have some other ones. But yeah, I did one from Mexico because I thought I needed to get another scout, because it really wasn't happening. You need more than one, really. Because if you want to scout players individually, then you need another scout to scout like a country in particular. Sounds pretty confusing, and it is, until you kind of learn how it works. I might do it. Yeah, I was gonna say do a video explaining it, but honestly, I don't even understand it right now. I'm just going with the flow. The only reason I'm making transfers is because I know who I wanted to get, regardless of their attributes or anything. Like before, like I said, before, when I said I knew who I wanted to get before I even started this career mode. I wanted to get Coke and Inigo Martinez, or Martinez. I think I called him Martinez, but anyway, yeah, Inigo Martinez and Coke. I knew like a couple weeks ago those are the guys I wanted to get to replace the aging players that I mentioned already. See, they're the Mexican, no luck in Mexico boss. So yeah, I'm trying to send him out to somewhere else, like maybe somewhere like Brazil or something. So yeah, just please leave your thoughts on the suggestions I made, and yeah, leave in your comments what you want to see after this. Do you really care about? I know you obviously want to see some scouts, but honestly, there's nothing too much. There's nothing amazing happening. That's the thing. I guess I have to probably edit it more. And like here, I'm trying to get rid of Atholite, and I do end up selling him. But yeah, this thing, it really seems similar. Leave your comments. It's got the same pen thing, the same negotiating. I'm not sure if it's just me. Leave your comments. It looks, more or less, the negotiating for the players looks exactly the same. And here, Cesc Fabregas, something interesting happened here. Just watch this. I counter offered with $150. No, $150 million, I should say. And you'll never guess what happened. Manchester City didn't accept, obviously. Who knows? They could have accepted, but yeah, in the end they didn't. It seemed to be too much for them. And actually, I wasn't going to say, well, I almost said I was going to be scared, but you see Manchester City accept bid for selling Aguero for 81 million. So I thought they would have had the cash to accept from there. So I was kind of scared to lose Fabregas. But I was getting the replacement in Coke anyway, and you can drop Iniesta back there. You know, we're only playing 2 centre mids and 3 centre backs. So yeah, it wouldn't have been a disaster, but of course I would have had the big money to make a big money signing. And then if you think about that, which Spanish player, if I go, who's like a big money? Because yeah, some Spanish players would be unrealistic, like Sergio Ramos. And of course, with that rule, I wouldn't be allowed to sign any Spanish players from Real Madrid, like being the big rivals. So yeah, I'm just chucking these ideas out there to make it more interesting, because this is still early days. So I just want to know what my subscribers want this series, like which way for it to develop. Like, do you want me to develop with young prospects coming through the youth academy like they would in real life, or just buy anyone who I want? So yeah, those are just a couple ideas out there. But I definitely like the idea of building my own talents. homegrown talent, Barcelona talent, because really, that's what they do in real life. Most of their team is homegrown, like from their youth academy. So, as you see here, Ko coming in, he's a really good player. He's 81 already, and he's only like 20, so he's going to be a big overall. He definitely will be as good as Xavi, in my opinion, being that good at his age. So I think I'll leave it at that. Nothing really else exciting happened. I think I've got some more highlights or more recordings of like the actual scouting network, not this thing, because I don't really think I need to make any more signings. That's the thing. Like, you can leave your comments and that kind of thing, but honestly, I made the signings I want to, and anything else will just be overloading too much players, in my opinion. And actually, I sell a big player. You have to see that in the next episode. But apart from that, nothing, at least that I've got up to so far. Yeah, I've kind of got, I don't know, I'm kind of bored with the transfer stuff already. Just leave your comments. Do you think it looks the same as last year? Because to me it does. Like, the whole negotiating, I'm really disappointed that they didn't change that. But yeah, that's just my opinion. But hopefully you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time.